Hey everybody, we are going to get started with 20 stretches. It's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. I've got my fitness model Jaden here. She's going to help us go through this list of 20 stretches. So let's get started. Our first stretch, Jaden, we're going to lie on our backs. And it is our meditation and breath work. So we're going to lie still on your back. I want you to close your eyes, palms face up towards the ceiling. And do your best just to completely relax into your mat. I'm going to come up and out of that so I can talk you through, but Jaden's going to stay in our supine meditation and breath work. So with eyes closed, I want you just to take a big breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And what we want to see is a rise and a fall in the belly. We want to try to get that breath deep down low into your belly. So feel those ribs expand. Feel your legs flop out to the side. Your arms are loose. Everything is soft. Release the tension in your face, in your jaw, in your cheeks. And just bring that big, deep cleansing breath through the nose. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. And try to get that big rise and fall in your chest. So we're going to start out with about 5 to 10 of those big, deep breaths. So we'll just do 3 more, Jaden. Big breath and release, bringing that deep breath, oxygenating those muscles all the way down to your toes from the top of your head. Big, deep breaths to clear your energy, relax and calm your nervous system, and overall, just get ready to do our good stretch class here. All right, so we're going to open eyes, Jaden, and we're going to just bring from that first, that it was supine meditation and breath work was first on our list. We're going to bring knees into chest and grab around. We want to keep the head down on the mat. We're going to draw those knees into the chest and relax the shoulders. And continue those big breaths as you're going through all of these stretches. And then we're just going to rock to the side, Jaden. We're just going to kind of go side to side and just release that low back. You can even turn your head and bring your chin over your shoulder and release those muscles in your neck and your upper back, looking side to side and breathing. We want to do that a few times, 5 to 8 times, and even bringing those knees up and around. How about this, Jaden? We're going to go up and around in a circle. We'll go 2 times one direction, and then let's go the other direction up and around in a circle. Oh, that feels good. We're just waking up those low back, stretching those hips and glutes a little bit too. So after our knees to chest, we're going to open our feet nice and wide, and we're going to take our arms out to the side. Our feet are wider than our mat, and we're going to do our windshield wipers. So we're going to drop those knees side to side, breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And when you drop those knees, Jaden's doing a great job. We're going to drop them at the same time to the side, to the back of the wall. When we drop those knees to the side, we're going to see how much closer each time we can take those legs to the ground. So going just a little bit deeper as far as whatever is comfortable for you. Good. And with that windshield wiper, Jaden, how about you take your front leg here, and can you take it up to the side of that knee and then draw everything down to the ground, and you're going to just get a little deeper stretch. Do you feel like that? It's kind of like a figure 4. Do you feel that? And we'll just hold this, and then we'll come back to the other side. So we start with the wide legs. We're still in our windshield wiper stretch, but we're going to drop our knees towards the back. We're going to take this back foot on the outside of the front knee, and then just drop everything. Our arms can be wide. We can add a twist in our head if we like. And hold that windshield wiper stretch. And a couple of breaths here. All right, we're going to unfold out of that and start what we call some pelvic tilt. So we're going to just tilt our hips forward and back. And we want to actually just move from the waistline to the pubic bone, okay? So Jaden's doing a great pelvic tilt here. Her bottom's not coming up. She's just kind of dropping tailbone to the ground and then scooping tailbone off the ground. This is a great release for those low backs. and even just kind of getting into those muscles deep up in your hip. From that, Jaden, I want to see you go into a bridge. So you're going to come up, you're going to scoop up from your pelvic tilt. You're going to hold your high bridge. This is so great for any kind of back pain that you might have, opening up those hip flexors as well. That looks great. And you hold it for a breath, and then you can come down, Jaden. So you're going to kind of come down through your chest and your mid-back. You're going to peel down one vertebrae at a time. We want to get mobility in your spine. So a lot of this is just these, even the bridges. Let's do that again, Jaden. The bridges and the pelvic tilts is just getting that spinal mobility, which is so important. Good work. That looks great. I'll do one last one with you for our pelvic tilts and our bridges. We want to come up nice and slow. We want to try to keep those legs parallel. And then we're going to come down one vertebrae at a time, really exaggerating that. So you might even get a little hamstring contraction going there, even maybe a little cramp or something. So if so, just release it with a straight leg up to the ceiling if those hamstrings get tight, and just a straight leg stretch. Anyway, our next stretch is called Happy Baby. We're going to draw those knees in, but we're going to keep the knees open, okay? And then from that, we're going to kick the feet up to the ceiling. And if you can hook the bottom of your feet, that's going to draw everything in deeper to your chest. And then we can kind of get that rocking again that we did with our knees into a chest. And we're getting in a little bit deeper. I'm going to come out of that. We're going to watch Jaden. That looks great, Jaden. A little bit deeper into the hip, still a great release for that back. We want to spend a lot of time with the backs, right? Which is so important to keep our backs healthy. So we can do rolls. Jaden, can you even show me like a one-legged Happy Baby where you just put one foot on the ground? Yeah, and then you just do the same thing where you can keep this knee bent too, and then you're just doing one. Sometimes you can go a little bit wider, it's kind of a little bit bigger. Do you feel that? Little bit bigger out to the side. So if the double legs at the same time is a little bit tricky, or you don't have the flexibility in your hips, the one leg at a time, one-legged, single leg Happy Baby is great. So that was our fifth stretch. We're getting through. We're going to stay on our backs for hamstring release here. Let's start with a bent knee on this leg, Jaden, and we're going to extend and stretch out our front leg. And this is our straight leg hamstring stretch. We're going to make it dynamic though. We're going to go hover down to the ground. And when we do that, we're going to point our foot. And when we come up to the ceiling, we're going to flex our foot. So we're going to point and go down to the ground, and we're going to flex and come up. And so what we're doing is we're getting some movement in the ankle and the muscles in our feet to try to strengthen from toes all the way to the top of our head through this stretch. Routine is just use all those muscles and joints, the small ones, the big ones, and we want to stay anchored in the hip here. And we'll do one more on this side. So we have this supine. Let's hold it here, and then let's add our hand to our hamstring and see if we can just pull in a little bit straighter, a little bit deeper. And then, is your knee bent? Yep, it is. Let's straighten that leg. So we'll get just a little bit deeper into that hamstring stretch. Feeling the difference with the flexed foot or the pointed foot, but remembering that we want to do both. We want to move those feet and do both. And then we'll take it to the other side. So we want to do about 8 or so on each side. So we'll keep this knee bent. We're going to come up and out. Remember, we have that flexed foot on the up. That'll kind of exaggerate our hamstring stretch a little bit. And then a pointed foot on the lower. So we're going to up and down and breathe. Big inhale on that stretch and exhale as we press down. Let's do 2 more, Jaden. Up and out. 1 more. This is feeling good. And then we're going to hold it here. We want to do a little grab at the hamstring, and we're going to stretch out and just go a little bit deeper into that hamstring stretch. And we want to breathe. In our flexibility class, we want to count how long we're in the stretch with how many breaths we can take. So I would hold here for like maybe 3, 5, 6, 7 breaths, whatever is challenging but still comfortable. So we can point the foot a little bit and then breathe. Good. All right, so from those, we are going to bring knees into the chest. We're going to do some spinal rolls. So we're going to grab around our shins and we're going to start to roll like a ball. And Jaden, we're just going to kind of find our groove with our spinal rolls. To do a good spinal roll, we are round in the spine and we're drawing in through the belly button, okay? So we want to stay relaxed in the shoulders. And this is great for your spine. This is great for that erector spinae and that spinal mobility we talk about. And actually, we're getting a nice little abdominal exercise too with those spinal rolls. Did you feel those? Yeah, all right, we're gonna hold it up. So that was number 7. So we are doing good. We're gonna kind of come out of that position. That was all of our stretches on our back. Supine, we're gonna come into child's pose. So child's pose is knees up open, hips stretch back, reach your hands forward, and we're gonna stretch through the shoulders. That looks great. The shoulders, the hips. We want to try to reach as far forward through those fingertips as we can. That looks great. Again, another great release for hips and back. We're kind of staying on that body part for a long time here. But now we want to get dynamic. So in these child's pose stretches, Jaden, we're going to circle towards the back wall here. We're going to do a circle. And we're going to sweep around to like a kneeling plank. And we're going to circle the other direction. So let's do a few of those where we're going to circle. Inhaling and exhaling, breathing. And then let's go the other direction. Let's circle towards the front, Jaden. We want to exaggerate and kind of stick those hips out to get a little more into those abductors, a little more into those hips. And breathe. That's great. Let's do one more. That looks good. Good work. And then we're going to prop up onto our hands and knees and we're going to find a tuck in our feet. So we're going to change the position. We're going to stretch the bottoms of those feet and we're going to go into our cat-cow. So drop your belly and lift your chin and then round your back and separate those shoulder blades and bring your chin towards your chest. So we're going to drop down, inhaling on the lower and exhaling nice and high and separated through those shoulder blades. So again, that spinal mobility, that looks great. Trying to move from the tailbone to the top of your head. So trying to take as exaggerated a movement in your neck, in your hips, through your mid-back as you can. And that is our cats and cows. Good job. So from a tabletop, we're going to stay there. Let's use our front leg first. We're going to take and lift up, and we're going to just circle. We call these dirty dogs. So we're just going to go up and around, and we're going to circle, and we're just going to wake up that hip joint, a little more exaggerated lift. And we go one direction in that circle, up and around. We want to stay even and straight through the arms. And then Jaden, let's go the other direction. So then we're going to go opposite way. Big circle. We want to lift that knee and exaggerate that up and out. Good work. And we'll do one more on that side. And you can play with this. You could do 5 each direction. You could do 10 each direction, depending on how much hip work you want to get. So let's do the other side, up and around. Big breath. Really lifting that knee and trying to keep that knee and that foot at the same height. And then we're going to come the other direction. That looks great. Up and around and lift. Good work. Let's go 2 more like that. Arms are straight. We want to draw that belly in. Good work. Good job. From our hands and knees, we're going to just step back to the top of a push-up. So our plank position, top of our push-up. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here and find our strength and engage our abdominals. You look awesome, Jaden. Perfect. So show me that scapula retraction where we're going to kind of drop down, keeping our arms straight, and then open up and separate those shoulder blades. Beautiful. So we're going to drop down, scapula reduction, abduction, and open and draw together. Try to bring those scapula, those shoulder blades together, and then separate and pull apart. Let's go 2 more like that. Could we drop to our knees and do this same stretch and movement? Absolutely. You can totally drop to your knees, or you can try to keep it on your toes that whole time. That looks great. Let's go 2 more, 2 more. You're doing a good job. You feeling that? Arms and abs a little bit. All right, that was number 11. So you are doing good. We are getting through. So from this position, we're gonna take our front leg, Jade, and we're gonna step it all the way to the front of our mat. Okay, we're gonna start to get into those hip flexors a little bit. So our back leg, we're gonna stretch that hip flexor, and we're gonna kind of pump. We're gonna kind of lean in this kneeling lunge, and then kind of come out of it a little bit. Good, and then pump a little deeper. Good. Noticing let's reach our arms up, Jaden. When we reach our arms up, we're gonna a little deeper stretch. Let's take the front arm and reach it to the ground and then reach over your head. That gets it a little bit deeper too. Good work. Good job. That looks good. We're gonna come here one more time. We wanna stay in this kneeling stretch. Let's go 3, big breath. And 2, feels good. 1 more. Good work. So we're gonna take it to the other side. So we're just gonna step backwards with this foot. We're gonna step forward with the back leg. We want our feet far apart, and we're gonna do that same thing. So this hip flexor now on the other side, we're gonna kind of pump forward and back. Looks great, we're getting through. We're more than halfway through our big list of 20 here. And breathe, let's add the arms, go a little bit deeper. Relax the shoulders. That looks great. And then drop the back arm and kind of reach with just the one side. Good work. And breathe. Let's come back to it. Let's just kind of pump 3 more times. I feel like we did that on the other side. Takes a little bit of balance too, as I'm falling all over the place. Let's go 1 and 2. We're getting through this. Good work. All right, so we are gonna step back from this kneeling lunge. We are gonna step into our downward facing dog. So these mats that Jaden and I have are kind of short, and Jaden's nice and tall, so she's gonna definitely probably have to walk back off of the mat. We want our hands and our feet to be far apart. That is beautiful. That is our downward dog. Legs are straight. I don't care so much about those heels. They don't have to be on the ground, but they are reaching towards the ground. You're gonna feel more of a stretch. Her head is in a perfect position right at the arms. So it's like ears and biceps are right in line. So head's right in between those arms. That looks right. And I need you to breathe, 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 breathe. 5 breaths, 8 breaths. Whenever you need to get out of down dog, because you're upside down, this is actually considered an inversion. You're upside down, head's lower than heart. Drop your knees to the ground. Jade, show me that. Drop your knees. Let's go back into child's pose and just sit the bottom back. That's our break, okay? So maybe at first you're taking, 1 and 2, 3 breaths in downward dog. You're coming to this resting, more comfortable position. And then Jaden, let's push back up into it one more time. We'll take 4 big breaths. This is such a wonderful stretch to incorporate with all of our flexibility classes. Great stretch through the shoulders, amazing stretch through the whole back of your body. Breathing, it's good to be upside down. It's good for your nervous system. It's good to rewire and find creativity and just feel overall better, and then drop to your knees. Good job. Do you like that one?
Yeah, it feels nice.
That feels good. She did good. All right, so that was our exercise on 13. We are gonna get down onto our stomach here, and we're gonna start to add a little bit of extension, which a lot of us might find we're a little bit weak in, but it's important. So we wanna be on our belly, and we want to have our feet pointed underneath us. Jaden, we're gonna just prop ourselves up onto our forearms. So let your forearms relax. And yep, there you go. And she has we both have a right angle from elbow to shoulder. And we're just trying to kind of lift our belly up, lift our chest up, slide our shoulders down, and just kind of keep our head in line with our spine. And this is a great supported back extension from your forearms, okay? So we'll take a few breaths here and breathe. And then to go a little bit deeper in this, we're gonna take our hands in quite a bit, Jaden, back, and then we're gonna straighten those elbows. And if we can, we're gonna put our weight onto the tops of our feet and lift our knees a little bit. If we don't wanna lift our knees, we can keep them on the ground, that's fine too. So a little deeper, more like an upward dog. We just did our downward dog, now we're doing our upward dog. That looks great, Jaden. And then come back down. Let me show you our little rest. Take your hands here in front of your face. Let's turn to the back wall. And you're gonna turn your neck and you're gonna just rest on your belly in a little prone meditation position. The back extension flexibility exercises they're tough. You wanna incorporate breaks. You wanna make sure that you're breathing. And this is a nice position to go into in between. Jaden, let's do that one more time, the upward dog, and then when we rest, we're gonna turn our head the other direction, okay? So we're gonna go one more time, big breath. See if we can take 2, 3, 4 breaths. See if you can lift those legs up off the floor, looking up towards the ceiling, and then coming back down. We're gonna turn our head and look forward, Jaden, just so we change the direction for our neck and just find that calm recovery position. So that was, we only have 5 more. That was number like 15 here. So we're getting through our list of 20. The next one is bow stretch. So we can use a kickstand and we can do one leg at a time. You can try to one leg at a time. So you're gonna get a little quad stretch. We're still in our back extension. And we can also, Jaden, show both legs at the same time. Both hands grab both feet. We lift the chest, we lift the knees. We try to come up as high as we can off the floor. Jaden's got a bigger lift, a bigger extension than I do. That's okay. We're just coming as high as we can, remembering that we can do one arm at a time to come up a little bit higher. And then let's do that resting position again, Jaden. Let's look to the back wall. So give yourself that time to kind of calm down the spine, find your breath. You'll notice in these back extensions, your heart rate will accelerate a little bit. Do you feel that, Jaden? Yeah, it does. It's amazing. So that was our bow stretch, single leg or double. All right, let's push ourselves back into child's pose because we want to come into a seated position. We are going to bring feet in front of us. And let's see, we're gonna bend our front knee first, and we're gonna turn towards the front. We're gonna just do spinal twist. So this is a little rotation. We're gonna take maybe our elbow and kind of hook it on the side, and we wanna look over that back shoulder, doing a little spinal rotation. If you wanna get deeper, you could take this foot up and over. Gives you a little bit more of a stretch here in your glute. And then the same thing, we're just twisting that spine. Think about just like wringing out that spine. Bringing that breath in, trying to sit up nice and straight. Let's flex that foot of the straight leg and try to push as long through that heel as we can, just so we have a nice straight anchor leg. And then we're gonna do the other side. So this leg stays straight and anchored. This one slides in. We can choose to be here or up and over. And then we're gonna just twist, another spinal twist, looking over to that back shoulder. We wanna do our spinal twisting when we're nice and warm in our spine. And we did a lot of spinal mobility in this list of 20 flexibility exercises. So after the spinal twist, we're gonna go into a straddle. So we're gonna go as wide as we can. We've got these hip bones, sit bones, we call them, right underneath our hips, our pelvis. So we want to try to sit up nice and straight. And then we're just dropping forward, just reaching to wherever you can. We want to engage those feet, we want to pull up those feet. If you've got the ability to drop elbows down, you can drop elbows down. What we want to try to do is stay extended through the spine instead of very round through the spine. So we want to try to stay extended. I'd rather you come just not quite so deep, but extend the spine than round the spine. And then we're just going to go into wherever it is that we feel our stretch and take 3 to 5 breaths in this big deep straddle stretch. Good work. This is either a favorite or a least favorite position for a lot of people. All right, one of our last ones is a figure 4. Let's do a figure 4 from a seated position like this. We're going to take our back leg up and over our front leg. This is good for our knee joint, actually. If you have some injuries and it feels tight and difficult, you can modify and just stay like this. Maybe not go quite as deep. Maybe you stay a little bit lower below your knee. But if you can come up and over your knee, and then what we want to do is we want to kind of try to push that knee down towards the ground. And this is our figure 4. Let's take our hands to the side, Jaden, and then let's sit up nice and straight. We'll feel a little deeper stretch there. Figure 4 with leg extended is going to be not quite so intense. Jaden, let's show the leg bend as a bent knee. And when we do that, we want to push into it. So it's your comfort, whatever works for you, but we want to get in deep to that glute, okay? So we want to try to get that hip opened. We can turn, we can add a little, you can kind of rock it to the side. We want to push that top knee towards that wall in front of you. Good work, and back. I love dynamic stretches. I love moving with my stretches. So, whatever kind of feels good. Let's do that one more time, Jaden, and come over to the side in our seated figure 4 stretch. And we breathe. This is great for tight hips, which I think we all have tight hips, I want to guess. So legs straight. Let's do the other side. We're going to come up. We're going to start it here and just kind of see, both of our knees are maybe a little different. Maybe we have an injury in one. We need to adjust. We want to sit up nice and tall and straight and breathe. Take a deep breath. That looks beautiful. And then decide, do I want it a little deeper? Do I want to bring that foot in and do it from a seated position? And then we want to try to push that chest towards our leg. We want to try to push that knee towards that wall in front of us. Take those big breaths. You guys, this is number 19 out of 20. So we are almost there. We just have one more. Let's drop to the side, Jaden. Let's go towards the back wall. We're just going to add that dynamic component into it. We're just going to come up and down and breathing, moving through that seated figure 4. Good work. And for today, for our list of 20 of the best stretches for a quick 20 to 30 minute flexibility routine, we are starting and finishing the same way. So we are coming back to where we were. We're on our back. We're relaxed. Our eyes are closed. We're relaxed in our feet, relaxed in our hands, relaxed in our arms and our legs. I'm going to come out of it. We're going to watch Jaden, and you're going to relax in your final 20th flexibility exercise for our stretch class. Our meditation is super important, being still and quiet and breathing. Just breathing deep, seeing that belly rise, those ribs expand, that belly fall, those ribs contract. Feel the softness in your jaw, the softness in your forehead. Try to kind of set in. It's almost like your face becomes expressionless. You're just light, eyes are closed, tuning everything out for just a few moments. Breathing, feeling your body from the inside out. One more big breath. Good work. And come out of it slow. Take your time. First thing we do is we open our eyes. Maybe we're going to stretch, reach our arms over our head and just get a big stretch through the full length of our spine and our legs and our arms. And then bring those knees back into your chest. We can do that little roll to sit up. Hey, we did it.
We did it.
Good job, good job. I hope you enjoyed 20 exercises, 25 minutes or so, 30 minutes, even better. See you later.